Peace, love, and light, beautiful souls. Welcome to my channel. My name's Mamina. If you're new here, please do subscribe. Thumb up this video and comment below should it resonate with you. It helps to get the content out there to more people who may need the clarity and guidance that comes with this reading. This is a reading for the general collective, so only take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If it didn't fit, you must have quit and all that jazz. With that out of the way, you're responsible for your actions, reactions, and your own personal interpretation of what you're reading. Always have your discernment and intuition tapped in so that you can get the best and clearest guidance from all of this. I'm tapping into the divine, also your ancestors or different, beings that are related to you or even your culture may come in to communicate the message for you. So just be prepared for that. The reason I'm saying it is because I picked up on a couple of accents and languages already when shuffling this deck out. One of them was a New Orleans like tone, like baby. So y'all know where you're from, who you connected to. If you didn't, now you do, or it might come to light at some point. But there is this like New Orleans jazzy kind of feel going on here. So maybe you guys live there, always wanted to visit there, got family, roots there, something. With that out the way, that's just a heads up in case some accents or different tones and things channel in. Now, this involves a bit of shadow. We're going to try to keep it light, try not to be too, cray here, because if you've seen my other videos, y'all know I can go pretty deep when it comes to my shadow readings. We're going to be using Denied Shadow Oracle. I'm going to put the deck creator below. She's a beautiful soul. And then we're going to tap into my soul sister, When I Love Oracle. We're going to tap into this one. This will be for the solutions and also to dig deeper with what the issue may be with that denied shadow. The tarot is the base. It's the core of what's happening. It's what may be getting blocked. It's what may be the block. We'll see once we flip the cards. I might also feel compelled to go to the top and bottom of these decks. We'll see as the reading progresses. Just giving you guys the heads up on that. With that out the way, we're going to hop right into the reading. First card, Judgment. Y'all just going to come out the gate with a major, huh? This judgment, I just got finished speaking of ancestors too. This judgment is about you waking up to a divine purpose. On one hand, you're happy that you're going through an awakening. You're like, I'm not crazy. I knew I wasn't crazy. I knew it. Knew all this stuff was real. On the other hand, because I feel connections coming in here, on the other hand, while you're waking up, it's almost like you want to wake up and stay in the box. It's like, yay, I'm up. Hey, everybody. I'm just going to stay here in this comfy little box, but at least now my eyes are open to see what's happening. And the divine and your ancestors are like, get out the box. Why are you in the box? I also sense that though you want to sort of stay in this shell, in this coffin, so to speak, you're kind of hesitant. Not hesitant. That's not the word. Some of you are hesitant about, again, your purpose. You're being told, hey, get up. You have a dream. You got to start writing down your goals. You got to start working on them. Okay, you see the sign that you're supposed to be doing this particular thing and you keep putting it off and putting it off. Some of you it's because you don't believe in yourself enough. Others it's because you keep making excuses. Oh, I'll do it tomorrow. Tomorrow never comes with you. It's like you really got to get yourself in gear because you've been praying about whatever it is. Whatever that purpose is that you've been looking for, seeking, trying to figure out, you've been praying about it, asking about it, sometimes tempting fate to figure it out. And the divine is like, okay, but are you ready though? Are you ready to receive what you're asking for? You see, divine timing, it works in two simple ways. There's many other complexities to it, but I'm going to simplify it beyond simplify. Number one, divine timing takes place whether you like it or not. So, for example, say a big opportunity comes and I'm awake, but I'm going to stay inside the coffin. Okay, the opportunity passes. Now you're wallowing about it, right? At the same time, when it's something that you really want and you're really asking for and you feel like you're ready, it's almost like I'm seeing like when kids play hopscotch or like double dutch. If you've ever played double dutch and like that person's waiting for their turn to hop in the squares or to hop inside of the the strings. It's kind of like that, but you're not pacing yourself. You're not paying attention to when the opening comes to do so. So what happens is the divine timing is taking place, but for you, it feels like the wait is forever because you weren't paying attention. You weren't making sure that you were physically ready to take that leap and jump between those ropes or jump in that square if you had to. The divine is saying, it's time for you to get up. It's time for you to move. It's time for you to start answering the call. Yes, this includes sacred unions, twin flame connections, and just people meant to come in your life that are meant to elevate you on a spiritual, mental, physical level. However, none of that can be received very well if you don't start with the work within. Your ancestors are telling you what the problem is, because the moment I looked at the card, I noticed root chakra, sacral chakra. If you go by the yellow back here that they're sitting on, that's solar plex. In the hair, we have green, that's heart, throat with the blue. They're letting you know these are the areas where you have imbalance. These are the areas that are the base of everything. The root chakra is literally the base. They're saying start from the bottom and work your way up. You know, a real warm up of the body should start with the feet. It's like when you do yoga, you warm up your feet and your ankle and then you work your way up the body. That's what they're telling you to do here. Some things you just expect to be awake, and awake is enough, and now stuff is just supposed to fall in your lap, but you're not ready for it. You can't even get out of the box. It's not that you can't, you just won't. So I'm hearing, get your ass out the box. Again, y'all know y'all relatives, y'all know who talks like that. I'm feeling that these ancestors, yes, some of them are way, way back, way before you were born. Others feel very close to you, look like they were very close to you. These are people that you knew. So this could be like, I'm hearing abuelita, abuelo, tia, tío. So some of them are like grandparents or aunties that you grew up with that maybe transitioned over. For many of you, it might have been a long time ago, because you know your age, the age bracket here is so vast amongst the collective that I channel in, but it's someone that you had time to get to know. You know their presence, you feel them when they're around. They're trying to communicate to you, they're trying to help you with with each of these steps you have to take. So sometimes you might be sitting in a room and you hear a certain song in your head out of nowhere. You haven't heard the song in years and you knew that that was like, that's abuelita's favorite song. It played every time she went to, every time her birthday party came up or something, she danced to this. That's her, or that person possibly trying, as an example, trying to channel in to get you to pay attention. Now start, just take a deep breath and center yourself, breathe, and then allow yourself to say, okay, if this is, my grandma, or if it's my aunt or whoever, my uncle, my cousin, for some of you it's like an older cousin, whoever it is, they have your best interests at heart. If it's them channeling in, what are they trying to say to you? And allow for their thoughts to telepathically communicate with you. Everyone has spiritual psychic ability. Everyone. Some of us are more versed or we're more experienced in it, but everyone has it. When you allow yourself to be more open, you're able to feel and sense things on a deeper level. And again, some of you are happy to wake up because you're like, I knew I was seeing stuff. You might have been seeing shadow beings and all that, and you were like, I didn't know who to talk to. People would think I was just tripping. Now that you know you're not tripping, that's all fine and dandy, but they're like, there's work to be done. So that's the message that's coming in here. It's a little bit of a rant, but I mean, that's how they're coming off. Hopefully they don't rant through all the cards. Let's move these down. Gonna get into the very next card. Three of Swords. Well, that explains the whole wanting to stay boxed in, doesn't it? Let me explain to you right off the bat what I see here, what I'm feeling. I'm seeing this before my eyes and in the cards. Some of you, the unknown, even though you kind of understand it when it comes to, you're on your spiritual journey, you're not crazy, you're happy to know that some of the vibrations and things you sense is real. However, you don't like the unknown when it comes time to progress forward. You like what's familiar, and unfortunately for many of you, what's familiar can be very toxic. This person isn't stabbing this individual in the back. Not in this reading. That's not what this is. This person already took out the one blade. Now they're trying to take out the other two. But the individual sitting here, it's like, woe is me. Once upon a time in a land far, far long ago, a person stabbed me in my heart and I never got over it. And the person here, this could be your divine partner. For some of you, it kind of feels like it might be a divine partner or just someone in your life physically that's always trying to be there for you, always trying to encourage you or help you. And it's like, every time they're like, okay, all right, all you got to do is go forward. I'm going to pull, you go forward. Boom, we get these swords out. You're just like, and long ago, my blood was on the blade. And it's this, and it's to the point that they're getting frustrated. You might be this person. Perhaps your divine partner is like that. And that's another reason that keeps you kind of like wanting to be boxed in, because you're dealing with a partner. You're used to always trying to help or pick up. You know that your energy helps them. If you didn't, Spirit is confirming to you that it does. However, it's like they're so in their head. They're so in that temporary, mind lapse and heartbreak of the Three of Swords that they just don't. It's almost like they don't notice it. And that's starting to frustrate you. There's frustration amongst both of these individuals, but this person is at the point where, okay, I'm gonna pull these swords out your back, but since you don't want to get up, I'm gonna jam these swords around a little bit. Like, you might find yourself sometimes wanting to set this person off, or if this is someone you're dealing with, sometimes they purposely do things to trigger you because they're looking for some other kind of emotion from you in the moment. They're like, man, just get mad or something. Like, you can't just keep looking at this thing. And it's heartbreaking to them if they're your counter, because it's like, I pulled that out already. We got that. Why are you still looking at this? It's not even a part of your wounds anymore. It's on the floor. So you took time to sit on the floor, pick up the sword I pulled out of you. I'm trying to get two more out, and you just gonna keep looking at this sword. Like, that's how they feel. Like, you know, that right there might be enough to kind of make some of you go, but you're either this person or this person. Maybe even you're, because twin flame connections mirror each other, maybe you're a bit of both. But when you get irritated, you find yourself wiggling that blade around a little bit. That's not helping the situation, especially if you're doing it out of frustration, out of being impatient. Happy to wake up, a little slow on wanting to move towards your life purpose, which contributes to your union, by the way. But you might be really quick with wanting your union to just come together. Okay, let's say it did. Now you're having a hard time handling the challenges that come with it. Listen, there's challenges that come with any connection, and then there's unnecessary challenges. Do you know why they're called unnecessary? Because they're unnecessary. There's no need to keep going through them. You end up going down a spiral where you keep looping around, having the same problems over and over with different lovers, different people, only to be drawn back to the same person, go through the same experience again. You got to stop the cycle somewhere. And that's for both parties. There might also be there's a feeling of clinginess here with someone too. Again, take what resonates. Don't take on nothing in your situation that doesn't suit you. But there's this clingy vibe. Like this, I'm impatient with you, but I'm not letting you go to a toxic like level. This is a person that's not really comfortable in the sense they want to be there, but they know the bad. It's like, I recognize the bad, I know the toxic side, I can handle it because I know it. That kind of vibe. So when you start offering them happiness, or even when they sometimes offer you understanding and happiness, like, let me flow with your mind, let me captivate your heart, I actually shared a message in the Insta story on my Instagram. Sometimes divine masculines will channel through other videos or masculinities that I see. And there was a guy speaking, and he's like, you're used to these earth dudes, let me explore your galaxies and whatnot. And that's how some of these divine masculines feel. But just like they can be stuck, divine feminines can also be stuck in the heartache of before. So it's like, well, how am I supposed to get to know you? And then it triggers them, because again, if you're a twin flame, you're a mirror. So now y'all just both sitting here doing the same thing to each other, and every now and then when you're frustrated and you're arguing, you wiggle the blade around a bit. How's that been working for you? Your ancestors are like, come on now. Come on. Boom. Two of Cups. Yep. Sacred unions. This is also representing people that may come in that are platonic, or um, close bonds, soul bonds. But what I'm picking up due to what came out before and the rant that's coming with it, yeah, say this is sacred unions. And what did I just say? You see how the masculine, he's like dipping some of his mental aura into the feminine, is to get in her mind and to kind of, get comfortable with allowing her into his. In the meantime, the feminine energy wants to hold on to the masculine's heart. You see, if he can come to understand her mind and she can come to understand his, this becomes a cycle that they do. Eventually, it's gonna go like that, right? It's gonna go counterclockwise and clockwise, a fair exchange of give and receive. However, the problem here is due to the staying in the box, not wanting to let go of things in the past, it's actually putting a hindrance in how this union can come together. This is hunting season, my loves. You can watch if it resonates with you, or if that sounds familiar, you're used to seeing wolf energy around. I've already spoke on this. A lot of divine masculines, whatever you may identify as, they're ready to go get what's theirs. They're cutting karmatic ties. They're going through dark night of the soul. So many of them are going through dark night of the soul. All kinds of things to get themselves in gear to come towards their feminines. However, if they were to try to do that prematurely, if you were to be too open to them doing that prematurely, then you open yourself up to challenges that are unnecessary. You open yourself up to misunderstandings, more conflict. And then what starts to happen is one of you, if not both of you, becomes clingy. People do really crazy things out of feeling clingy to someone, an unhealthy attachment. The key is to learn to detach. And that's for both the masculines and the feminines. But right now, feminines, this is for you because, again, masculines are on the hunt. And just like an alpha, once they find you, it's mating season, okay? They're going to have a really hard time telling themselves, hey, chill out, relax, just talk to her. And especially if they know you already, they've had a connection with you prior. Maybe you're in separation now or something. I'm picking up on a lot of people who aren't together yet. Maybe you know who your twin flame is. You might know who he is. Maybe y'all both been running from the twin flame vibe for a while. But yes, there are many of you here. Even if you don't know who the person is, maybe you have an idea. Some of you have already been in a relationship with your twin flame, and again, you're in separation. So the craving for you is so deep. It goes beyond the physical. And it's at a point where the more that they start to realize that this is a deep, real connection, this is real, twin flame vibe is real, the more they feel it, the more they understand it, the more they want you. And that makes the intimate side of the craving very important. Sex is never just sex. But when you amplify it with a sacred union, it's soul deep intimacy, it's soul deep pleasure. It's on that tantric Kama Sutra like level. And for a masculine, that's hard, no pun intended, but it's hard to deny. They're not going to be thinking with their right brain in the moment. And if you fall for the persuasion, they're not going to all of a sudden have a moral and go, you know what, I don't think that I'm in such a giving and receive mode. Maybe I should slow down. Now, so you might come across one that by some miracle can do that. Others are going to go, hey man, if you open, I'll take a box, I'll occupy the space if you open to it. That's just how it's gonna go. And some of the feminines, because you want the heart so bad, you might be willing to cave a little too easy without making sure that they've earned the position, making sure that they're coming in fully prepared for the position. Remember, divine timing depends upon when you're ready. This isn't about give and take. Don't even jinx your relationship with that. Give and take is a phrase and a custom that people are used to saying without fully understanding what they're saying. This is about give and receive. In order to give, you must be open to receive. In order to receive, you must be open to give. The heart space and the solar plex must be balanced. The throat chakra must understand how to communicate, because if nothing else, if you can't speak your words, you want to be able to at least put that vibration there, because vibration is felt and heard before words even leave your mouth, right? If you can't do that, you're going to run into a problem. So this is about getting to that level where you know that when that person comes in, they're ready to really give to you, you're really ready to receive, and vice versa. Just like this person wants to kind of like pour and get into your head, they got to be willing to let you pour and get in their head. Not in a bad way, in the I want to understand your mind. I want to understand how you think, how you feel kind of way. Just like you holding on to their heart, they're supposed to want to hold on to your heart and not crush it. This is about protecting it. Be the rib cage around that heart and not so quick to hurt or damage it out of fear. And that goes both ways, not to wiggle the blades, so to speak. Waiting. Okay, this goes back into this card. Remember what I said? You're sitting in this box, you're like, yay, I'm awake. Cool. But at the same time, when it comes to your life purpose, you don't want to move forward. You're waiting on this connection. That's what's happening with some of you. Some of you, it's not that you're physically waiting, but in your mind, it will disrupt your day if you don't take time to think about, well, what's my twin flame doing? Well, what's my divine masculine doing? What's he doing? Look, it's okay to tap in if you're trying to expand each other's energies. However, you got to know when to what? Detach. Tap out for a minute. Be within yourself, right? You can keep them, keep protection over them. You pray, and when they're ready to level up, they'll come. And it's, remember, both of you have free will, right? You may not get to choose who your twin flame is in a sense because you chose that before you manifest in this life. However, you get to choose if you want to put up with their mess. I'm trying to not use the words that your relatives are using, but it's up to you if you want to put up with their mess, if you want to tolerate that. Just like it's up to them if they want to level up and be on your level. And look, some of you watching, because you'll find out I'm very blunt around here. Some of you watching are that person. You're the person that's like, I want my divine feminine, or I want my twin flame, but I don't know how to approach them. Don't sit up here and think that the only people who come in and watch these readings just simply be the person who's like, I want to understand what's going on with my masculine. No, your masculine sometimes be sitting right here looking, listening themselves, trying to figure out what you're doing, trying to figure out what's going on in your head. They want to know the advice that you're getting. So you see, when advice is given here, it's given for both sides. That's why I said you may resonate with either part of these. Both of you might be in your own way curving your life purpose. Them because they're running from you, and you because you might be trying to track their every move. As you're sitting here waiting, the Four of Wands, that's a celebration. That's the twin flame. I've been calling this a twin flame setting the whole time. 11-11. Right? At Four of Wands, 2 wands each, 11-11. But look at that. This person is sitting here by themselves. Now they got all the offerings here. It's all decorative, ready for the event. The event could even be going on. But they're sitting there by themselves because they're waiting for their divine partner to come in and get it together. Your job isn't to sit still and wait. Your job is to go ahead and evolve and level up. I'm here in Sierra, so that's like upteenth time that's happened. That level up, level up, level up. Yeah, that's what y'all supposed to be doing, leveling up. And as you level up, it pulls them towards you. Divine feminines, we tend to awaken first, my loves. That's how it is. We're the intuitive side. We're the moon side. We're the creator. We are the womb space. We are woman. With that womb space, it's natural for us to become intuitive and aware if we were cut off or blocked. Not all of us grew up cut off or blocked. We just had to readjust ourselves. But for those, many of us were, and for the ones who were, as you start tapping back in and you start picking up on these feelings, these sensations, the spirits, and etc., for you that it might be crazy, but it feels more normal. For them, they're like, what is going on? They're the co-creator energy. So when they're cut off, unless they have another creator energy to tap into, they're all kinds of confused, right? Sometimes the masculines can wake up first, but they're still in denial about certain things. So for example, they'll wake up and understand twin flames, but they'll feel like they can change the rules. Like they don't have to go about it the right way. They can come and go and play hopscotch with you because it's like, oh, that's my other half. She gonna have to wait, or whatever your preference is. That feminine energy is gonna have to wait. No, boo boo, that's not how that works. That's never how that works. If you snooze, you lose. However, both feminines and masculines have been going through dark night of the soul. Okay? Unions are trying to come together. The divine didn't had about enough. These twin flame unions have to come together. There are things that need to be done. They didn't had about enough of y'all lollygagging around. So I'm going to tell you what I heard back in March. Get ready to be ready, because not ready is not an option. Opportunities are going to come regardless. The world is shifting right now. I know people like to put on blinders, but we're at a point where those blinders ain't saving you for nothing. Okay? So with that happening, the unions that play a part in this shift, they're taking place, the opportunities for them to take place. And if certain people don't fulfill their role, well, you're going to be back there crying in the car. Okay? And that's why you can't just sit and wait. That's why you have to be working on yourself. You have to be ready to come together with this person. You have to already have an understanding of the complete being that you are. And when you come together, you're becoming even more complete. You're two sides of the same soul. But you got to understand your individual value. You're still an individual expression of the divine, right? Just like they are. This waiting game, it's not cutting it. And it's not just feminines waiting. There are some masculines in their own way doing it too. But no, got to work on the life purpose. Some of you got to move forward. Some of the masculines are sitting here waiting, and it's your job as the alpha to initiate. You just got to initiate the right way. Let's get into the shadow. Impatience. Pretty much what I was saying, right? Restlessness leading to frustration and eagerness. You know, frustration can lead to a person to wiggle those blades around too. Frustration can cause for the arguments that make you say things to try to trigger a different emotion because you're tired of the person focusing on the past, or you're tired of them focus, especially when it's a past that doesn't involve you. Sometimes people think if it's a past that involves the person, it's more painful. Sometimes it's when it's the past that doesn't involve you, like when the person's thinking of their ex or something. Especially if it's a masculine trying to pull the blades out of a feminine energy. It's like, I'm here, that person's not. You know? Sensitive subjects can lead people to becoming that way. At the same time, a lot of this impatience is about the clinginess. It's about the union, like happening right now, like happening right now, right now. But did you go in and do the inner work? Are you prepared to do the inner work? There's your individual work, and then once you get together, there's the work you got to do together. Are you ready for that? Something to think about. We have complacency. Someone is becoming a little too comfortable. Someone's a little too comfortable with being in the toxic, familiar space instead of allowing themselves to walk into the unknown. I don't even feel like I need to go deeper with that. Come on. Codependency is right underneath the Two of Cups. Unhealthy attachment. The key here, my loves, because no one is telling you that you can't love. No one is telling you that if you know beyond a shadow of a doubt who your twin flame is, or, because you'll be led to them regardless, all right? Soulmate connections, twin mate connection, whatever's meant to be yours as you level up in this life, you'll be led to it regardless. But the key is to not be attached. To make it more simple, when you're attached, you think of how things are supposed to go, this perfect picture. For some of you, it might be the picket fence. For some of you, it's something else. But it's a picture. It's a very detailed photo, and you're not really ready to bend on the details. So what tends to happen is one thing could go wrong. That one argument, that one misunderstanding, that one miscommunication. And you just throw it all to the shits after that. Like, you know what? It's never going to happen because this, that, and the third. You're not allowing for the divine. You're not allowing for the universe to be flexible with you. You're not allowing them to bless you with all the abundance that exists for you because you've trapped yourself in a box of codependency, of attachment. Whether it's an unhealthy attachment to this person, it doesn't even have to be your other person. It could be other things around you. It could be vices. For those of you who have vices, you know what they are. I'm not going to call you out. I'm keeping this reading light, but you know who you are. You know what they are. Because again, it's not just always the person who feels like they're being hurt watching. It's also the person that's doing the hurting a many a time watching, especially when it's a true soul connection. If you allow yourself to detach while keeping connection means you don't allow yourself to become cold. You don't allow yourself to be in denial. It's kind of like with what's going on in the world. You can try to detach yourself from what's going on in the world while still being connected, meaning you can be honest about what you see. You just don't let it make you feel like your life can't go on. In fact, you help it push you forward. Like, you know what? Now I'm really determined to make the most of my life so that I can help people in need and I don't have to see them suffer, or whatever your, encouragement may be. But when you disconnect, you lie to yourself. Oh, that's not a real issue. That's not a real thing happening. That's that person's problem and not mine, and etc. And when that happens with sacred unions, it can lead to more pain on your side because, again, when it comes to twin flames, they're another half of you. So when they hurt, you hurt. So if you're intentionally hurting them because you call yourself being disconnected, it leads to more problems. You got to learn the difference between the two and balance it out. Just like I say, you got to learn the difference between your opinion and actual intuition. They're two different things. They can be mistaken, but they're two different things. Denial. What did I say earlier? You're not meant to sit here and waiting. It's time to face the truth. You're not meant to just sit there. You have a life purpose that you're being called towards. It's time to get on up. Start working on that life part. You can keep positivity. Be honest. Detachment doesn't mean that you lie. That's disconnection. Detachment just means that you understand that however this is supposed to play out, however you're led, whatever you're led to notice and see, you're going to trust your intuition and do what you have to do, but you're not going to allow for the emotions of this connection to rule you in such a sense that you can't move forward with your life purpose or with enhancing yourself, leveling up. Denial says, I'm just going to sit here and keep waiting because it's supposed to fall in my lap because of this blueprint plan that I laid out. Go ahead and set your plans and stuff, but remember to leave room for the universe to be flexible because they're going to bring to you more than you could have ever imagined having. For this row, we have slow your roll. Don't always respond immediately or be available. Keep them a little off. Kegler. It's magnetic. Slow it down and let them work their way up on your priority list. What did I say about this row? Right? Let them earn that position. Let them earn being a priority. Resist pushing buttons or shaking blades around in their back. You know there are triggers that get to them, but avoid pushing those buttons no matter how badly you're tempted to do it. So even though you're looking at them like, why can't you just get it together? Don't try to make them feel worse because you think that if they feel something, it'll help them. It's not. It's just going to damage more. It's just going to give them more of a reason to stay in the box, right? And it's kind of the pot calling the kettle black, don't you think? When we sum up this whole situation. Put your pride to the side with the codependency. Don't let it become the one thing standing between you and your happiness cause you to lose a person who is trying to get close to you. I feel like that applies to both of these, honestly. Because for some of you may resonate with one card or one group over another. But I feel like this applies to both because on one hand, it's a bit of pride that wants to force the blade around. It's pride that kind of just wants to stay stuck in this one position because it's what it's what it knows. It knows that the pride or the at least it thinks its pride won't be hurt if it stays in that toxic area, but the reality is it still will, right? And then with the Two of Cups and the codependency, it can be pride that keeps you from admitting to yourself that that's what this is. It could be pride that keeps you in a codependent state. It keeps you attached because you feel like you have the right to be so, and you be damned if somebody poops on your pride and tell you that you can't. Don't let that get into the way. That's for the masculines and the feminines. All of these are in that context. With the waiting and denial, we have play hard to get. Remember what I said earlier? The masculines are used to being the alpha energy. They're used to just like coming in and I'm ready to go, let's go. Which means that a lot of times the feminine energy has to think things through more. We have the playing hard to get card. This isn't about teasing them to the extent that you make them lose their mind. That's not what this is about. This is about show them that they have something worth earning. It falls back into these other cards. Let them earn and work their way up to what they want. Because some of these masculines, if they get with you and they lay with you, especially they know you're their twin flame, but they've never been intimate with you, they're about to feel some stuff that, as amazing and out of this world, can't be defined in words as that may feel. They're going to run for that door because they have never felt like that before. If they felt it before, you've been in separation and they've been clouding their minds with other junk, even though they can't get you out off their mind. Falling back into that position and remembering just how much control you could have on their heart. Because again, it's not about the sex, it's the intimacy, it's the soul connection. Sex is more than that, right? We're talking about true, genuine love exchange between two people. That can make a person feel very vulnerable. It makes them feel out of control. That can be what causes them to run. Also, it's about that give and take versus give and receive. Give and take is, okay, you can give him the cookies and he ate the cookies and he went on about his business. Share with you for what? You know what I mean? Give you something in exchange for what? You kept giving, he kept taking, or she or whoever your partner may be. This is saying, no, what you're going to do is you're going to earn what it is that you're trying to get, so that by the time you actually get it, you had to work for it, you appreciate it, you receive it. Because in order to receive, the heart space must be open and you have to appreciate what it is you're receiving. If they feel you will always be there no matter what they do, playing hard to get will interrupt that mentality, and they'll value more what they have to work for. So if they feel like they're going to always get what they want from you, all they got to do is beg enough or plead enough or seduce enough, then why would they stop? But if you start saying, you know what, no, you're going to earn the right, that changes the mentality. Now they know, oh snap, I really better work and get myself together, because he or she won't always be there, won't always just take me back or give me what I'm asking for. Okay, let's finish this off, Spirit, because the spirits, they're already starting to get me to, I feel like I'm stumbling on words anyway. We gotta get ready to close the energy out. Top of the deck, we have the High Priestess. I already know what that's about. I can already feel, because I've already talked about the whole running. We have Six of Cups. Could be the why they're running. We'll confirm in a second. I feel like the High Priestess, once again, remember I said the feminine energy wakes up first, right? And they can learn a lot from you. When you level up, when you're focusing on yourself, like you're focusing on your career. I'm not talking about diving so deep in a career you don't take care of yourself or take time to enjoy life, but you take time to explore and really get in tune with yourself. When that happens, the masculine responds to that energy, whether he sees it or not. He, spiritually, he will still naturally respond to it. What's stopping both of you from stepping into this hidden knowledge, into this hidden wisdom? Probably in getting that in dreams. You're probably in your dreams learning things from your ancestors that you're having a hard time remembering and carrying over. It's the feelings of the past, nostalgic feelings. I feel like this is still confirming the soulmate connection here, because it's the Six of Cups. As you can see, there's a heart on the chest, and then the chest has all these emotions inside of it. Let's go to Shadow. Yep, settling. Settling keeps you from raising into the High Priestess vibration. I want to make sure I'm getting the very bottom card. Hold on. Anxiety keeps you in the past, keeps you from stepping forward into the future. Having that anxiety, that falls right back into, you see how it connects, how it flows together? You're so busy worrying about what the unknown of the future is that you keep yourself stuck in the memory of the past, be it good or bad, and then that gives you anxiety. Whenever you have to think of moving forward, it brings in an anxiety, and that keeps you from tapping into that higher knowledge, because you end up settling for less than what you're really worth, for less than what you really deserve. We got 2 more cards, and then we're going to end this. For the top of the deck, To clear this out, we have fun again. Showing them you're strong and mature, you can be their equal is great, but showing them your playful side is also important. Find balance between the two. Instead of wiggling the swords around, instead of trying to always come off as I must be serious about this connection. I must be serious. Have fun, relax, chill, breathe. I'm out of breath just with the energies that's here. For those of you dealing with a person that's just too hard-headed and you find yourself sitting there waiting and waiting and waiting, we have cut your losses and move on. It can be hard to move on, but if you're not feeling loved or valued, what's the point? You're too good to be with someone who isn't sure of what they want. So again, for many of you, if you're dealing with partners that aren't your full connections, or even if they are, understand something. Just because somebody's your twin flame don't mean that you're supposed to put up with their ish or settle for them when they're not coming in to represent their highest good and your highest good. If they don't benefit your highest good in their own, then what's the point of them being there? They're just going to add more damage. You're not going to feel the love you deserve, so eventually it leads to resentment and other emotions. This can also mean to just cut them off for now. For those of you who might still be talking to your person, you might have been getting this in dreams. Go ahead and put the distance there so you can work on yourself. You can build yourself up. And if that person is meant to be worthy, they will do the same thing and they'll come back around when they get their senses right. And if you're not with anyone else and you're ready, so be it. If you moved on and you're happy and you're better, so be it. You know, a lot of times people don't want to hear that, but that's just the reality of the situation. For those of you who keep mistaking a twin flame for an average Joe, cut your losses and move on. That's what you're being told to do. That's your readings. Your reading. My loves, yeah, it's time for me to close this energy out. I hope that resonated with you. I hope you were able to get some clarity and some guidance. If you've been having some dreams and insomnia, you've been trying to piece them together, hopefully this helped you with that. Until next time, my loves, blessings to you.